Alright, so my name is Katlyn and today I'm going to do my feminist critique, but before I do my feminist critique, I just want to kind of like introduce the whole class. I just want to say that I thought at first this class was going to be extremely hard and difficult, and I didn't think that I could do it, but this class actually really taught me a lot of new ideas and techniques that I'll use, especially like the harmful remarks. That was a really big eye-opener, because now I kind of like watch what I say, like even if I don't think it's the right thing to say, I'll like rethink about it. And I didn't know that the words that I actually would say actually hurt people, and like it made me think about when people talk to me that some of the stuff that they say to me does hurt me too. So it just like made me realize how people like talk and communicate with each other. And also this class, like I always believed in like equal rights for women, but this class explained to me like why women should have equal rights and why we deserve and how we've evolved over the years. And then all these ideas kind of like lead me into my feminist critique. So I kind of took a different aspect to my feminist critique on the definitions. I went from an anthropology standpoint, and so what anthropology is it's basically the study of the origins of humans and like their nature, their biological characteristics, their social customs. So it's basically just a study of humans. And over the past 160 years, there have been 3 different waves that have occurred. The first wave was from 1850 to 1920, and this wave basically just wanted women to be able to express how they felt and just give their input and like just give them a chance to like really prove themselves. And to men, like the men that were studying it, it was kind of a shock to them because they had only studied men. They had only known what men were like. But now it gave them a new perspective on women, and now they can learn from like women and learn that men and women really are different, 2 different people. And now this also gave them a chance that the biological sex during this time period gave them their place in society, which once they started studying women, like, I don't know, the aspect kind of changed where, you know, you shouldn't be judged or your place in society shouldn't be put on just because you're born a man or born a woman. And then the second wave was from 1920 to 1980, and this time period, unlike the one before, completely separated gender and sex. Sex was a biological reason of nature. Like, sex was just how you came out, like nature, that's what nature wanted you to be. But then they saw it as gender was defined by the culture. And this basically defined all women as females. Like, that's basically what the whole thing was about. And women were finally being able to be studied because they finally became, or there was finally a feminist anthropology. And then the third wave is from 1980 to now, and this is basically where women were no longer judged on their biological characteristics. They were more looked at as their religion or their class or ethnicity. And this proved that women all around the world were not all the same. Everyone had different needs and expectations for life. So that leads into my definition, and I believe a feminist is a person who is willing to go out and be like active members in pursuing them. And I don't consider myself a feminist, but I consider myself a pro-feminist because I would rather just kind of like stand on the sidelines and not really like put myself out there like that. I don't like that kind of confrontation. So I'd rather just kind of like be like, yeah, okay, good, go do that. Like, I would just rather support them rather than actually do it. And like, I do admire though, like the person that I research for my Women in STEM and the women on Iron Jawed Angels, because they are the ones who are willing to fight for women today. And they really did have a lot of passion because they were part of suffragist groups and everything like that. So I do admire them for what they do. It's just I don't think that I'd ever be able to do that. And then this is my feminist critique. And this is a picture of Danica Patrick. And if you guys don't know, Danica Patrick is a female race car driver. And this is just an ad for COPD. And I believe that that ad falls under the difference factor because she is being treated differently because of the way she looks. She's asking to put herself out there so that the advertisers can sell her body, basically. they're just trying to get the male's attention that, oh, this medicine will work because there's a pretty lady on there, type of thing. And from this, women are considered sex objects because of the way she's posing in two of the pictures. And I think that, from my standpoint, it gives female race car drivers a bad image because obviously I'm not a size 2 or anything like that, so it just kind of, I don't know, it just sets the bar kind of high. And like, I personally, in the racetrack that I go to, we don't wear swimming suits underneath our fire suits. Like, that's just uncomfortable. Like, if you have a whole body fire suit and you pull it down to tie it around your waist, you have a t-shirt underneath. You're not going to be walking around in your bikini top because then you're going to be judged. Like, it's just something that you don't do. And then the reason I think that this is, or why this is because it's a male sport. Typically, there are not many female drivers who race, but when the men that do like watch the races expect to see a beautiful woman on a car. They don't expect to see like Jimmy Johnson in his like bottoms with no shirt on. Like, they don't expect to see that because that's not what appeals to them. So from that, society kind of like makes bad stereotypes about the women who are in racing because they just expect like them to look absolutely pretty all the time, and they're not allowed to get like sweaty or anything in their race cars. They're supposed to wear their swimming suit underneath. Like, I don't know, I think it just kind of gives them a bad image. And from my standpoint, it feels like women are supposed to feel obligated because, like, to look that way. And I personally want to be judged on me for racing. I don't want to be judged on if I'm a size 2 and have a bikini underneath. Like, I want to be judged for me and my racing ability rather than an object. And then for my course reflection, one thing that really opened my eyes was the women in careers. How I didn't think, as going to be an engineer, I didn't think that I would have to deal, like, I didn't think that I'd have to give up my job and become a housewife in order for my husband to keep his. I never really thought about that before this class, and I don't know, I think it should go half and half. Like, men should have to give up some of their job and women should have to give up some of theirs. It should go half and half. You both are going in on a family. It's only fair. And I just thought, like, this past weekend, my boss actually just had a baby 3 months ago, and she's coming back on like work, like off of maternity leave, and we have to do stuff differently for her because she like just had a baby. So we have to do stuff, we have to accommodate her, but yet it still works. So I think that if we can do it at a small town, then I think overall we should be able to do it as a whole society. Another thing that helped me was time management. As you all know, I play rugby, so with rugby, school, and especially this class with a lot of outside work, it was a lot of work, sometimes thrown at once, but I think that it really helped me plan out, like, and when you guys gave us the sheets of when stuff was due, I think that really helped because I was able to plan out my time, like when I do this, like, and stuff like that. And then the third one is how women engineers have evolved. Basically about how during World War II, when women were asked to step up, they were just considered like girl engineers, and then they were kicked out because of the men came back from war. But then we still fought for equal rights, and now like the way, or how far we've gotten today is like a really big accomplishment, I think. And then diversity, I think, is really important in engineering or in any field, because if you have a group of all white males, you're only going to get one perspective on a project or on an idea. But if you have like a woman, like an African American, and then a white male, like they all have different backgrounds, so it kind of just like, it brings up new ideas that may not have been brought in if there was all one class or one race. And the last extremely important thing to me was how a lot of the women that we talked about like had a really large impact. Their fathers have had a large impact on them. And that's really important to me because I know I've said this before, but my dad has had a really, really large impact on me, and he's like my whole inspiration for being an engineer. So I just think that it's really important to have like his influence. Like if he wasn't there pushing me, like I talk to him every day, and he's the one that keeps telling me, if I call him and tell him, you know, this class is really giving me trouble, he'd be like, you know what, no, you can do it, just don't give up, you know, you're stronger than that. So I just think that, I don't know, the father's influence in this like whole theme is really important to me.